Let's talk about solar. Good morning, peeps. It is, I don't even know what date it is. I know I'm probably late on it just a little bit. It is after March 5th. I'm very sure of that. What that means to me when it comes to solar is I need to adjust the solar panels. Oh, let me see if I can gauge you. I can't. Right up there. There's some solar panels up there. And then I have this little ground mount one that's down below on that dolly. Hopefully y'all can see what I'm showing you. That one's obviously mobile and I can change the angles on it. But Drunken One, why would you change the angles? Okay. Some people, if they have enough money, they have this fancy tracking system which actually just like goes toward the sun all day long. Make sure I'm not showing you any notes I might have on my hands. Okay. This explains, okay, we are in the 30-degree latitude. So there's three angles that it goes to, the 3.3, the 27.1, and the 50.7. I'm reading it backwards, so hopefully I got those right. And they change on certain days. There's the spring and summer, or spring and autumn are both the same. So we are adjust angle on March 5th to the spring angle, so I need to be moving those things to the 27.1 because right now they're at the 50.7 from the winter time. So that will help gather more sunlight. I don't have that fancy tracking system that I spoke about. So I'm not going to show you that part because I gotta climb up I climb a ladder beside the tower and it's just easier that way, and I move the panels around, and then there's like some big sturdy tie wire stuff that keeps it from wiggling around when it's really windy. What I am here to show you is a little more maintenance that you have to do when you're doing solar stuff. Okay, I think I've shown you all the batteries before. Okay, these are the batteries. I have 6 golf cart batteries. Their brand is, I guess not important. Anyway, you've seen them if you know what's going on or you have a golf cart or whatever. They're very deep cycle batteries. They're also, well, very deep. They're 6 volt each, and I think we went through how they're all wired, but that's not so important. What I'm here to do today, because I'm going to be generating more power after moving the panels, is I'm going to top up the battery, the water in the batteries. There's a solution of acid in there. Of course, y'all knew that. And so I am just going to, maybe I should get a flashlight too. Anyway, maybe I'm just going to like top those off that way, because you don't want them running dry for sure. Let me pull you off the tripod and we'll give a little look in there if I can. And so, hopefully you can see it. There's a little slit that is right here. It goes down there quite a ways. Maybe I should grab a flashlight too. Anyway, you want the solution that's in there, because these are the plates that are inside. Oh, this is not going to work for y'all. Okay, you can see the plates. Alright, if you open your, well, most of them are maintenance free anymore, but if you open your car battery, the plates inside are going to be totally different. There's going to be a bunch of thin plates. That generates a lot of power all at once. But as soon as the vehicle starts, it's charging back up. So if you leave your lights on, it's going to run down your battery, and it probably won't want to start after that because it's only a starting battery. These are deep cycle batteries. These are meant to be drawn down to even as much as 10% of what the power that they have. It's not good for them because the more you run them down, the less they're going to come back each time. So you want to try to keep them about 50% or more, which to a 12 volt battery, although these are 6s, or the way it's wired, this is actually one 12 volt battery, the way it acts. And so you want the least you want to try to bring it down to is 12.1. And if you can continue to do that, they'll last time and time and time again. So all I'm doing really, and I won't bore you with this because it's just a long, boring, daunting task, I've got this thing here, which is actually a tester. Y'all are familiar with hydrometers. This little thing here belongs inside of there. It tells you the level of the acid, the potency of the acid. And if you read it right, you can actually tell the voltage from this. I don't know if that's coming in at all, but you get the idea. Well, I've taken that thing out just to make this little project easier. And so all I do, and I put a long tube on there, so all I do is stick it in distilled water. Distilled water is very important that it's distilled. You could actually use just regular water, but what it does, it leaves deposits in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to just put some in there, and maybe you can see the level that it's going to. Hopefully this isn't too boring for you. And they all should be about the same. You just have to kind of look at them, but you want to be maybe 1/8 of an inch below that little slit that I just showed you to begin with. So they all would be like maybe 2 of these right here. And there you go. And so I have to go through and do all of them. There's 3 per battery because each cell is 2 volts. So there's quite a few. 3, 6, 9. There's 18 little cells to fill up. Again, I won't bore you with that, but that's what I'm doing. And then what I'll do when I get them filled up is I'll turn on the charger, and like right now, the panel up there is in the sun. That one down there is not. I'm going to fill up the cells. I'll leave the cap off of one of the batteries, and I will put that other panel in the sun, and I'll show you the action it makes in there. When it's charging, or when it goes through what they call equalization mode. Equalization is like it's almost overcharging the batteries. Almost overcharging the batteries. And these things, it's a symphony of little bubbles from all these little batteries. Or all these batteries are not little by no means. But all these batteries, it's just like a symphony of bubbles. And so, yeah, let me get them filled up, and I'll put the thing back out in the sun, and I'll show you the thing percolating, and you'll probably be able to hear it too. All right, crash course, huh? Yep, this is the fuse right into there. Just 6 volt batteries, which are tied in a manner where it's just one big 12 volt battery. And I got RAM over there for 2 more. But these aren't dead yet, and hopefully they won't anytime soon. All right, adios. Alright guys, I've got all the cells filled up. I guess I should have probably done some disclaimer type stuffs along the way. After I was about halfway through filling them, and I'm thinking, you know, I really should mention that this is really dangerous. You probably should be wearing safety glasses and gloves and such. It is acid after all, and of course any tools that you'd be using around that stuff. Of course there's lots of live parts. It's not dangerous unless things get shorted out. So generally what I do is what you seen what I had in there to be able to point with. I have it's an old toothbrush, which obviously is non-conductive. Then I use that to pop open the caps. I am very cautious when I'm filling them up, in the sense that I stay back away from each of the cells. Sometimes when you pour that cooler water into the batteries, it will bubble up, and it'll want to splash out some. You do have to fill it up with water every now and then, especially when you're going to give it a good charge, and that's what we're going to do today. I am going to spin you around to show you the meter, and then I'm going to put the solar panel out in the sunlight some more, and then we'll see if we can't make it get bubbling down there. Really quick, I guess I'll do this right here. Pardon the dirty paper. This is, oh, I bet you can't see that. Alright, this is, let me spin you around. There's got to be a better way here. Get in front of you, something. Okay, so this is the level of the batteries. This is the voltage compared to the percentage of charge. It tells us specific gravity, which I showed you on that hydrometer thingy. And then this is per cell. This is per 6 volt, but we're not going to do it like that. We're gonna do it as a 12 volt system, because that's what it is. 1273 is a full battery. Again, you don't want to get it any less than like 12.1, because that's 50%. I had another page, and I'm not sure where it went. Anyway, so you're going to see right away that my batteries are above the 1273, which means they're above 100%, which isn't a bad thing, because if you think about it, your car is, let me spin you back around over here, your car, when you crank it up, it puts out about 14.2 volts, and so that's what the batteries charge at. See if I can get you to where it's not so glossy, glary. Okay, that's that. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to tell it minimum, max. See, that's where it's been for max, and that's good. That's where it should be. We're going to go to minimum. It was really tired the other day. I wore it down pretty good. That was totally my fault, and that was a big no-no. See, that was one of the, you run it less than 10%, so that was a big no-no. My bad. So that's, but our average between those, so it's been up there quite a ways. I haven't reset this for a while, but I will right now, in the sense where I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to tell it to stay awake. That way it doesn't fall asleep on us. And then I'm going to hit minimum max. So this will keep an average, this will keep the numbers between minimum and max. You hear it beep, that means it just went down just a little bit. So, which is something is being used or whatever. Okay, let me go move the panels, and I'm not going to show you that, but you'll know when it happens, because, first of all, I'll tell you, second of all, you'll see that meter jumping. Watch this. Toward the sun. Now it's early in the day. I don't even know what time it is. I got y'all looking at that. Just see how it works. It works pretty quick. It's 10:21 in the morning, and you can see it's already starting to climb. It's fairly early in the day, but it's already starting to climb. Good old solar. So now if you turn something on, you'll see that it drops down, but whenever the load is done, it'll come back up. See there? Click, click, click. Doing good, right? Alright, so now this, I don't think I've ever gotten into this stuff with you. I think I showed you once upon a time. So I can get you a little closer so we can see what the, oh boy, oh, okay, yeah, the sun just really came out. Sorry y'all didn't get to see that. Let me adjust the camera a bit. I'll show you what's going on. See, every now and then it knows to, see, that's not going to work for y'all. Or maybe it does. Shoot, I can't tell. Get you a little closer. This thing here is the meter that works with the charge controller. The charge controller is what tells the panels, hey, slow down, I'm full. The batteries will say, hey, slow down, I'm full. And so I can get you closer. I guess y'all can see that. I can kind of see it. Alright, so over here, it's got a light in there, but I don't know if it's going to help at all. Over here is the power that we're bringing in, 285 watts, which really isn't a whole lot. It's the sun, it's early in the day and such. This is an MPPT controller, which means it's a smart controller. I won't bore you with all the weird details. I need to fix it on there a little better, because it's starting to fall off my wall. I need to put some screws back in there. We're bringing in 20.8 amps. Y'all that are doing the electric breweries know what amps are about. It's 20.7 amps, and our batteries are at 13.9 is what it's saying. The battery box inside there is at 66 degrees. This is a really nice controller. Actually, this isn't the controller. This is just the meter that goes with the controller, which is this guy. It's a Morningstar brand. I'm not getting paid, I'm just saying. Morningstar brand. I think that thing was about 400 bucks. And then you have to get the meter separately if you want to watch it. Otherwise, all you get is a couple of lights to look at. So anyway, that's what had that jumping so good. See, we're almost up to 300 watts now. And I've got like almost 500 watts worth of panels, but see, there's 300. And of course, as the day goes, 301, as the day goes on, it is going to increase more. I won't bore you with all the details of this, but with these other buttons, it'll tell you how much power you brought in, how much power you've used. It's pretty darn smart. It's probably why it's 350, 400 bucks, whatever it was. All right, so we were at what, 1360 something a while ago, and now through all the beep beep beeping, we're at 14.01. Okay, so you see we're doing it. Now, let me pull you off right here, and we'll see if the batteries are bubbling yet. And if not, I can make them bubble, because see, I got, just in case the sun doesn't come out for a while, or just something happened that the batteries did get worn down, you can pop on this charger there. It's not near enough for this whole system, so it takes a long time for that thing to make a difference. All right, let's see if we're bubbling down here. I'll lift that cap out and put the cap back on. So you can see if you can see maybe the water levels are just like really close, about 1/8 of an inch from this slit there. Let me close this one up. I'll lift that one open. First thing you do when you get done doing that is wash your damn hands. Alright, so we're going to look in here, see if we can't see some action. Try to get it to where it's glossy. That's what's happening inside there. I am not moving anything. That's the action happening. You'll see a bunch of little bubbles kind of come up and they pop. Each one of these caps are vented, so it allows the gases to come out, but it's supposed to keep the liquid in, and it does a pretty good job. The acid itself never goes away, although it bubbles off the hydrogen out of the water. I think I'm right with that. Let's check this one here. You can see it's moving along. See how thick those plates are in there? That's a really sturdy battery. Okay. I don't know if y'all can hear the bubbling. Let me go, let me toss on that other charger just for fun. It really doesn't need it, but I'm gonna throw it on there just where y'all can hear the bubblers bubbling, alright? Okay, so let's go back over here. I know my place is a wreck, don't tease me. So, actually this one, I got it on this switch. So there's a switch that comes on whenever I ask for it, or it can be set. And it turns on this receptacle up here that powers this. Oh shoot, it's saying it's full already. Yeah, it's saying it's full. Okay, it's not even gonna do that. Y'all can't see it. I see it says full anyway, so it's not even gonna attempt it because the batteries are pretty high already. Alright, well, so much for that. I can't make that happen for you, but if I hear it bubbling a little bit later, like really making some noise, because they do. If I hear it bubbling later, I will I'll get some audio for you. But there you go, you can see it's working. Yeah, I don't hear the bubbling. Anyway, alright guys, I guess that's it. Y'all do be careful with this stuff. You see the warning things on there, and that's very important. You don't, there's sulfuric acid in there. Don't be smoking around it. You get the idea. I'm sure you've seen that on batteries before. Oh, this step on there, it's not that I'm yucky or dirty. That's dielectric grease. That's so that it doesn't get corrosion on there. You know, so you don't see any white powdery stuff in here. There's no corrosion, and it does get a little messy. So that's why the batteries look like they do. Anyway, that's dielectric grease. It keeps the corrosion away. All right, guys, I guess that's it. Crash course on on solar. All right, y'all said that you didn't mind what I put on here. You're gonna regret that. All right, guys, scooping off now. Whoa. Okay, just teasing. So yeah, I'm gonna adjust that today because, like I said, I got the day off, so I'm gonna adjust that today and get my springtime setting. Because it should have been done back on the 5th, and I want to say today's like the 8th or 9th or something. I don't even know. Oh, much better. There we go. All right. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do this afternoon. It won't take but a second. I got to climb up there, and it's got like little wires. I don't know if you can see it so good. Anyway, there's little wires that keep it from getting jostled around. That was supposed to have been for an antenna. There's a lot of concrete under that thing. It's like a 3x3x3 concrete block with like 4 ground rods, and it's so overkill. So yeah, roll, guys. All right, I'll catch up with you later. Adios.